I'm out at Fort Knox in Maine, and it's pretty cool. It's kind of creepy. Eerie long hallways like that. There's a super bunch of halls like this, like pretty much going all around the fort, all around the perimeter of it. Very long, narrow hallways. So I'm out at Jasper Beach, which was supposed to be a beach that was like all red, which I guess in my mind I thought it would be a little more vivid, but it's all kind of, there are a lot of red stones. It's just not red. But it's still pretty. So I guess that's the nice part. I have another big hike to climb up. I found myself in this unique and fun position of climbing up rocks again, because I'm dumb. And I saw the big downhill slope of rocks and thought, that wouldn't be too bad to go up. But I'm an idiot. Also forgot to bring water, so that's awesome. Well, I just got done hiking around Acadia, and it was pretty cool. I hiked around for a while in the park, and there's some pretty cool stuff, like little beach kind of area. I think it was like a pond or something. And there was a big rock. Well, I guess really it was like the cliff side of the mountain there, but you could get out on there and kind of sit out there and take pictures and stuff. And I found a nice shady spot and took a little nap there, so that was fun. But the little like cities and everything in it, it's really touristy place. It's really heavily populated with like, you know, little antique shops and you know, bike shops, stuff like that. You know, all sorts of little, you know, pubs and little things, you know. It was super crowded. I mean, just really crowded. I got there probably at like 8 in the morning, and it wasn't too bad. There were already some people there, but it wasn't too bad. By the time I left around 2, it was so crowded. The area where I parked, you know, there were people parking in the grass around it. You know, there were people parking right next to each other so they could hardly get out of their cars. It was ridiculous. So I'm glad I got there really early and was able to enjoy it, you know, before too many people got out there. But all in all, it was a cool place. I would definitely recommend, if you're ever in Maine, to check it out, especially if you like those little like touristy town kind of things. I don't, because I don't like being in big crowds, but some people do. So I stopped at a little gift shop in Maine called the 45th Parallel. It was actually on the 45th Parallel. It was just a funky little gift shop with some cool odds and ends. They had a big, huge lobster. Well, it was dead. It was just the like exoskeleton. And they had some funky little books and some signs that were pretty funny, and a lot of statues out front that were really cool looking. My last stop in Maine was the Maine Coastal Botanical Gardens, and the first thing as you go out into the gardens is the Garden of the Five Senses. They have different flowers and things that appeal to different various senses. And that was kind of a nifty little setup that they had there, and it was actually really cool. They also had a little Zen garden, and it had a lot of ferns. They had a whole bunch of different little setups. They had one setup that was nothing but blueberries. And they have a whole big garden area that's nothing but rhododendrons. But it was fall, so none of them were blooming. Would have been a lot cooler, but it was still really pretty. And they had a little fairy garden. And basically what it is they encourage, people and kids to build little fairy houses out of bits of bark and twigs and different various stuff. And I thought that was kind of nifty. But they had all sorts of artwork and statues, different things like that. And it was definitely worth the money, the admission fee, and definitely worth the time. I spent about, probably 2.5 hours wandering around, and it was pretty cool.